Stomach go around. Good to go. Good afternoon, Chicago, and welcome to the Chicago Treasurer's Office exciting new financial education series called the Money Matters Institute, or MMI. I am Dr. Harita McDowell, the Director of Financial Education and Empowerment for the Chicago Treasurer's Office, or as we like to call it, CTO. On behalf of the City Treasurer, Melissa Conyears-Ervin, and the CTO, we thank you for joining us this afternoon. The mission of MMI is to empower all Chicagoans with the knowledge and skills needed to make informed financial decisions to build wealth today for tomorrow. MMI is a 3-session series of programs, webinars, and workshops now through November. On today's session, we will talk about planning for the future. This workshop will help you understand the strategies you need to plan for the future with the goal of improving your money mindset, from planning retirement, budgeting, and more. Throughout the presentation, feel free to post your questions in our chat. And at the end of the presentation, we will respond to all of your questions that you post in the chat. We are honored to have our educational partner, Chicago-Ervin League, to begin this conversation. And today with us, we have Pam Stallings, who is the Vice President of the Chicago-Ervin League's CUL, Housing and Financial Empowerment Center. Pam will be presenting Planning for the Future. Hi, Pam.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm great. We're looking forward to this. Let's get going, planning for the future.
Okay, let's get it started. Okay, planning for the future, and I'm here at Chicago Urban League, just trying to help you guys understand what it means. Sometimes we think about planning for the future just means retirement, but planning for the future could just be next week. So, planning for the future is essential to achieving financial stability and reaching your goals. It involves setting financial goals, creating a budget, and making an informed decision about your finances. In this presentation, we will explore the importance of master budgeting, setting financial goals for purchasing a car, buying a house, and just even traveling. Because you guys, millennials, you guys really know how to travel. We will also discuss starting a savings plan, increasing awareness to avoid identity theft and loan scams, understanding financial options for home ownership, and ways to stay motivated in achieving future goals. So, again, mastering budget, setting financial goals for purchasing a car, buying a house, and traveling. Remember, planning for the future is so essential for financial stability and reaching your goals. It involves setting financial goals, creating a budget, and making informed decisions about our finances. We will also discuss the roles of financial coaching, starting a savings plan, increasing awareness to avoid identity theft, loan scams, understanding financial options for home ownership, and ways to stay motivated in just achieving your future goals. Because our goals do change throughout life. So, the importance of planning for the future. Planning for the future is crucial for achieving financial stability and reaching our goals. It involves setting financial goals, creating budgets, and making informed decisions about finances. These are the key topics you want to explore. In this presentation, we will cover various important topics related to planning for the future. So, budgeting. Why we stress budgeting so much? And people really, we always say, oh, I budget, or I have a budget, or I don't have a budget. Really, a spending plan is a better way to say that every paycheck I'm going to plan to spend my money, and this is the way I'm going to go about doing. And then just setting financial goals. So some goals could be, I need to purchase a car because I know my car is not going to make it for the next 10 years. Buying a house, I really want to become a homeowner. I really want to think about leaving that house to my kids and just start to create generational wealth. And then I just really want to travel. I don't want to wait till become a senior citizen to do all of my traveling. I want to travel now. And then just the role of a financial coach. So that's reaching out to someone like our agency here at Chicago Urban League. And then starting a savings plan. Now, starting a savings plan is not just opening up an account, it's planning to save and it's also planning how much to save because you can have more than one savings account. Increase the awareness of avoiding identity theft and loan scams. Just the other day, uh, someone got a hold of my husband's account. I don't know how, but he saw a little charge here. And what we don't understand is that we really have to be aware of what's going on daily in our financial habits. Understanding financial options for home ownership and ways to stay motivated and achieving future goals. So, mm, okay, planning for the future is crucial and I'm gonna keep stressing that. And then it's just steps in creating a comprehensive financial plan, setting financial goals, and then strategies to achieve them. So what we just read in these um, points here is just we need to create a strategy. So let's see what's on the next slide. Budgeting. So let's get into budgeting. And I like to always call it a spending plan. But budgeting plays a vital role when you don't know how much as a counselor. That's the first thing I'm going to ask you for is to write down your budget. Because although you think in your mind, oh, I got bills to pay, but also as a budget, you need to include everything. You need to include that cup of joe you get in the morning. You need to include, oh, I got to get gas. And if it's not included in your budget, then you're really not budgeting. But it helps you stay on track of your income and expenses and savings because in your budget, you should have a line item where it says savings. And you should always automatically save. It's so easy to do. But providing a clear picture of your financial situation. With the budget, you can work towards your financial goals. So track income and expenses and savings. How do we do that? Now all banks allow where they have charts and they have information. So when you get gas, it will show you on a monthly basis how much of your income you spend on gas. So you need to start getting, or you can get apps that do track your expenses. So there's different apps that do different things regarding tracking. It can it can track your income, it can track your expenses, and it can also allocate to different areas which is needed. So allocating your resources effectively. So first part of the budgeting is you just need to track and know where you're at. Then after you know where you're at, then you can start allocating like more money to pay off your debt if that's what you need to. So allocating your resource effectively, you got to know where you're at in order to know where you're going. So having that roadmap is tracking it, then you have to allocate. Next step is identify the areas of improvement. Like I just mentioned, hey, I'm kind of high uh, on that credit card. So I'm going to need to get that debt level down low. So I'm going to create and identify and allocate more areas to my credit card because I want to bring that debt down because that's the area that I want to improve. I want to improve my credit score. Then I'm able to make informed decisions. So I'm going to make that decision to look at that area of my credit report and to allocate more money to go towards that. And then that's how I prioritize my goals. And then I'm minimizing my debt. So you see how that works through? We're working from the top down and from the bottom up because it's all going to come together once we know exactly where we're at. So that's all a part of budgeting, really knowing where you're at. Master budgeting, again, it is crucial tool that you have to use this as a tool. It's not like a mandatory thing, but you use it as a tool for managing your finances and achieving your future goals. It helps you track your income, expenses, saving, provide a clear picture of financial situation. By creating a comprehensive budget, we can allocate our resources effectively, identify areas of improvement, make informed decisions about financial future, and really mastering budgeting allows us to prioritize our goals, minimize our debt, build a solid foundation for financial successes. So let's go on to saving. So, steps in just financial success. So, what do we uh what do we look as being financial success? So, sometimes it may mean different things to many people. And I say that because I can say I'm successful in paying down and keeping my debt down level low, where somebody can say, well, my success is paying something off. So you evaluate your income, expenses, the debt, and savings to understand where you're at in your position. And then you're going to set the goals and track your income. So you determine that by short term and long term goals. So you give yourself a clear direction. So in 6 months would be a short term goal, but then a long term goal could be I want to save for a house. So that's a different kind of savings. And then you're setting yourself up, and these are the steps that you're going to take in order to. You're going to have your short term, and then you're going to have your long term goal because it can record your income resources to categorize your expenses to get better understanding of your spending habits. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. I spend more in the winter time at the grocery store than the summertime. Why? Because we have Thanksgiving, then we have Christmas, then we have New Year's because I'm entertaining more. So when I look at my budget, I'm going to prioritize my budget in the sense that, hey, this month I'm going to spend a little bit more money. So I'm going to allocate more into my savings for that holiday spending. So it's just so important just to start saving. And a lot of people say, "Well, I don't have a lot to save, or I can't save much." Once you start saving, it could be a good habit and you just got to start. So starting a saving plan is essential for achieving your future goals. It allows individuals to set aside money regularly and build a financial cushion for emergency and planned expenses. By creating a budget that identifies areas to cut expenses and to automatically start saving, contributing, individuals can develop consistent savings habit. This enables them to achieve various financial goals, whether it's purchasing a car, buying a house, planning for retirement. It provides financial security and a peace of mind for the future. I know when emergencies come up, I want to be able to have a peaceful mind in order to handle my emergencies. So I have that. I have it a savings. So when something's wrong with the car, I don't have to charge it. Or if I charge it, I know, well, I'm going to pay that off quickly, and then that's not going to keep building up my debt. So, what are the benefits of savings? Starting a saving plan provides individuals with financial security. And then that's that peace of mind for the future. It allows them to achieve their financial goals by setting aside money regularly and building a financial cushion by creating a budget. It identifies area to cut expenses because I know once I look at what I spend, I know I may not need to go to Culver's anymore. And automatically, I'm sorry, and cut expenses and automatically saving contributions individually can develop a consistent savings habit and make progress towards their goals. Because once I start planning it, I can see month to month all of my progressions, whether it's saving for a specific purchase or building an emergency fund, starting a saving plan. Remember, it is a crucial step towards that long term financial stability. So remember, we talked about short term, long term, but remember savings. And then we can categorize it any way we want to. Starting, set aside money regularly. So I know, and just like some of us, we pay our tithes regularly. Start saving and putting in different types of savings. So I'll share some things that I do. So I have a Christmas club account, and it's just for Christmas time. So actually, it's holiday, but it's called my Christmas club. So regularly, I put money into that savings account, and I know when the holiday season come, I know I have certain amount of money that I can spend, and I do not have to touch any other money, or I do not have to charge anything. So that's the way that I set it aside regularly on a monthly basis. I created that budget. It is part of my budget, and I automatically do it. So it comes right out of my checking account. So I'm building that financial cushion because and I'm achieving that goal because I'm not creating any more debt during the holidays. What I'm doing is I'm just starting a plan. So once you do that, you can also build it for your emergency savings. So you can, like I said, you can have more than one savings plan. And then I also have a plan that my husband may not know about. But what I'm saying is definitely create that plan for whatever you want to desire to do with that. But always have to have a goal to it. So if I'm gonna do, I'm only gonna do 300 in that account, make sure it's 300. I'm gonna do 3,000 in that account, make sure it's 3,000, and start another account because you want to have an end goal to each account. Strategies for saving and investing. So remember that emergency fund. I can't keep on stressing how important that is, but you set aside funds to cover unexpected expenses. Now, investment accounts, you want to explore different investment options such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Now, you do have to have guidance from somebody who is licensed in those areas. So I would direct you to go to your who you bank with. They have different investment bankers. And then retirement accounts. You want to contribute to your retirement account like a 401 IRA for long-term financial securities. And you want to do that, and you may want to talk to your employer because depending on how you are employed determines what kind of plan you have. And you want to diversify your investments. You want to spread your investments across different assets classes to reduce the risk. And the younger you are, the better you are, and then you can take more of a risk. But again, you have to talk to a financial advisor who will also understand and do that. So, what's a good organization for investments? I'm going to tell you to go to whoever you bank with, as well as explore different. You can Google it. A lot of people Google because in Google you can also get comments to people's experience. So that is one way that you can. I'm not going to tell you one person over another, but what I'm going to tell you to do is to do your research. So let's talk about some goals. So, setting financial goals for purchasing a car. So, I just thought about that because it depends on where you're at in your life. But if you are a younger person, it may be a goal to purchase your first car or just a car. Setting financial goal again is vital when planning to purchase a car. It helps determine the amount to save. You want to research for the best car options within your budget and create a timeline for achieving the goal. Now, uh, setting specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant and time bound. Those are the SMART goals. Individuals can stay focused, motivated throughout this whole process. This enables informed decisions and to help avoid unnecessary debt. So I know this sounds so clinical, but what you really have to think about is I go to a car lot and I see let's see what's a I see this Mercedes and my eye is just, oh, this is just a beautiful car. But does my finances say that I can afford that car? So I'm not only looking at the sticker price, I'm looking at repairs. I'm looking at the oil change. Is it going to be synthetic? And then I'm also going to look at, is it going to take regular gas or is it going to take that premium gas? So when I'm doing my research for a car, I'm looking at all of those factors because that Mercedes Benz looked really nice and I would look probably really nice in it, and it'll probably make me look nice, but can I actually enjoy it and afford it? Or will once something happens to it, then I won't be able to drive it? So let's look at some benefits of setting these financial goals. So it setting financial goals for purchasing a car allows individuals to make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary debt. It helps estimate monthly car payments, saving for that down payment, and plan for other car related expenses by setting realistic goals and following a structured approach. Individuals can achieve their car ownership dreams and maintain long term financial stability. So, when I look to buy a car, I'm not only looking at that sticker price, I'm also looking, can I keep that car? And will that car help me achieve my goals of not getting into further debt? So, creating a car purchase plan, assessing affordability, determine how much you can afford based on your budget and your financial goals. Consider factors like a down payment, monthly payments, and insurance costs. Budgeting for car maintenance and insurance. Account for ongoing expenses like regular maintenance, repairs, insurance premiums. You got to make sure you put that in your budget and plan for unexpected expenses by setting aside car for by setting aside funds for car emergencies because remember, you're still going to have to get those tires. And what I'm talking about is research car options and price. Research different car models, features, prices to find the best fit for your needs and budget. Consider factors like fuel efficiency, maintenance costs, and your resale value. That determines a whole lot when you're thinking about purchasing a car. Setting financial goals for buying a house. What's important? The important is buying a house is a significant financial milestone. It's probably going to be your first and largest purchase ever in your life. But setting financial goals can help navigate the process smoothly. It involves saving for a down payment, improving your credit, and determining an affordable mortgage payment. By setting realistic individual can plan for future home ownership expenses such as property taxes, insurance, and maintenance costs. This enables informed decisions about the type of house you can afford and create a solid foundation for long term financial stability. So, I say all of that to say when you think about purchasing a house, you not only think about what neighborhood, but can you maintain it? And I always tell people your first house or your first purchase of a house may not be your dream house, but it can be a footstool to the second part of your dream. So that first house may not be all what you expect, but just like a new car, you may not get a new car, you may get a used car, but when you get that new car or that new house, then you know you've been in practice on knowing what you need to do to maintain. So, setting some benefits of buying a home would be setting financial goals to buy a house allows individuals to make that informed decision. Remember, you got to make all these decisions and you have to educate yourself. You have to do your research. So just don't go on what uh, anybody tells you. You got to do your own research about informed decisions about their home ownership journey. It helps you estimate the required down payment, improving your credit scores, and planning for future homeowner expenses by understanding financial capabilities of setting clear objectives. Individuals can create a solid foundation for long term financial stability and achieving the dream of owning a home. Now, I don't know if that's everybody's dream, but when you're purchasing a home, it is a way that you can create wealth. And that we do know, but we got to make that informed decision. So when you're planning for a house, evaluate your affordability. A lot of people say, hey, you'll go to the bank and they'll tell you, hey, you can afford that house. You know how much house you really can afford because they're going on your gross payment, not your net. I know how much I can afford. Determine how much you can afford by considering your income, expenses, and saving. You want to research the options and work with a lender to find the best terms of your situation. Budgeting for home maintenance and utility expenses. You want to plan for ongoing expenses like home maintenance, repairs, property tax, utility bills. Set aside funds for your budget for these expenses to ensure financial stability. And you want to research neighborhood and property types. So some of us like to think about, oh, I want to buy a building or I want to buy a two flat. You have to make sure and understand you can afford that by exploring different neighborhoods and types of property types to find the right fit for you and your lifestyle and your budget. Consider factors like the proximity of amenities like school districts and property values, as well as am I going to be close to the bus or the train station? You have to think about those issues as well when you're planning to buy a home. Understanding financial options for home ownership. Again, you want to evaluate your options by comparing different loan programs and understanding mortgage terms. So, when you're doing your research or when you're planning to purchase a home, you don't want to give yourself 3 months. You want to give yourself at least a year because you're learning so much information and this information is coming at you fast, full speed. So you want to make sure you're understanding because there's so many different terms and mortgage programs and options, what I qualify for, what I don't qualify for. But individuals can choose the most suitable financing option for their home ownership goals. So just because my sister did it doesn't mean that it's going to fit my situation because we have two totally different types of incomes. She's self-employed and I'm not. So there's different type of reasons why she would choose a home rather than I would choose a home. So consider the benefits of owning a home. By understanding the benefits of owning a home, individuals can make informed decisions about their goals and long-term financial stability. Remember, or I may want to own a condo. So there's different reasons why I may want to do that. And I'm learning that more younger people don't want to have that white picket fence. So when I'm talking to a younger person, I'm trying to find out what their needs are. So explore down payment assistance program. There's so many programs out there, but you got to find out what best fits your need. It's not always the most money. It is what's going to fit your situation. And everyone do not always qualify. So you got to find out what best fits your need. By exploring down payment assistance programs, individuals can minimize costs and make home ownership more affordable. Remember, you got to find out what fits you and your situation. So, factors to consider when deciding to refinance or to rent. So, you want to evaluate the current interest rate and mortgage terms. So, by evaluating current interest rates, mortgage individuals can determine if refinancing would result into lowering your monthly mortgage payment or shorter loan term, or it may just not. I just may not be ready to do this, and I may consider just renting at the time. So that's where this really helps. So aligning your personal financial goals. I may want to get a home in the next 5 years because I want to be able to save a substantial amount of money before I even think about purchasing a home. So by aligning with your personal financial goals, individuals can make decisions that support their long-term financial by saving money or to have more flexible uh, whether it is to save money or to have the flexibility of renting. Now, I do understand and know that rent is high, but also you got to consider that whenever you're going to refinance, if it's really going to make a difference. If you don't get 2 points lawyer, so if I am at a 7% interest rate and my rate doesn't go down to 5, then that doesn't make sense to refinance. So everything has to align with your goals. And then consider housing market conditions. Now, do we know if this is a seller market or a buyer's market? Right now, there's low stock on housing. So you have to consider what the market is. By considering housing market, it may tell me it's not my time to buy. Individuals can assess whether it's a favorable time to refinance or to keep renting based on potential changes in the property value. years. So there's a lot to be considered when you're thinking about buying a home. So setting financial goals for traveling. And then I do see a lot of younger people traveling, and that is super great. But I hope the rent is paid before you go on that trip with the girls. You want to determine your financial destination. So, how do you do that? By determining your financial destination. You can set clear goals and plan your travel according to your expenses. So, if I know that this trip is going to cost me 1,500, now does that mean I'm going to be on a resort? Now, does that also include airfare? Does it also include to and from the airport, to and from? Am I going to be in a special? And if I'm traveling out of the country, what are the rules? What do I have to do? All of that has to be considered. You want to estimate travel expenses. By estimating travel expenses, you can create a realistic budget and save more consistently for your travel plans. So that means that, hey, I'm not only going to determine where I'm going, but now I got to factor in all the expenses. Now, how do we create that plan? By creating that savings plan, we can allocate funds specifically for our travel goals and make informed choices about transportation, accommodations, and activities. Like, do I want to upgrade to whereas I have uh, a pool, an infinity pool connected to my room? All of these things you have to consider. So you want to set that travel budget, determine how much you can afford to spend on travel based your financial situation goes. Consider like transportation, accommodation, meals, activities, and souvenirs. Saving for it. Create that separate savings account dedicated to traveling. Set a specific goal and contribute regularly so when you reach it. So planning for travel insurance and emergency funds. This is something that we need to consider that we don't do. And that's why I had this slide. Purchase travel insurance to protect yourself from unexpected events. Set aside funds for emergencies or unexpected expenses that may arise during your travel. Things do happen. I was in a situation where we went to the hotel. It was not what it looked like on the picture. So we had to definitely scratch that and get another hotel. So what I'm saying, does that mean that I had to have a way, a means of doing that? So I canceled that reservation and then we made another reservation. So what I'm saying is you have to be able to pivot in that moment to not have everything ruined. So, effective strategies for goal visualization. So, all what we talked about, and I just gave some examples, is basically reaching your goal. So, whatever your goal is, you want to visualize your goal and the benefits that it will bring you. So, if going on that trip to Jamaica is going to bring you joy, then bring it on. Break down the big goals into smaller, manageable tasks. So you want to break down some of the things that you really want to do. So if you want to spend your birthday there, then you have to, the task of it's your birthday and then planning a birthday in Jamaica, then that would be something that you can break down the task and you can give it to your friends or whoever you're going with. Celebrate milestones and progress along the way. So while you're saving, you want to congratulate yourself that you're even attempting to do it and that you are striving to do it. So you're going to see that progress. So if you're trying to reach that 2000 goal, you want to put it in months and how much you can set aside. And once you reach and start reaching it, you want to celebrate, say, and start celebrating even before you go. Surround yourself with supportive networks. So you want to get a network of people are like-minded people because someone could say, well, you're never going to save for that. But if you get your friend or your family member to help you say, hey, well, maybe we can't go out tonight, but I did say, but maybe we can do something else that's not going to create or interfere with your savings, then that is a supportive network. You want to stay focused on long-term benefits of your financial goals. Uh, Staying focused is so important because remember, this is for a vacation and it is not for emergencies. So you gotta have to make sure you separate it. So you want to stay focused, and you remind yourself of your financial freedom and security when you are working towards it, because you're going to go back to those benefits of having it and bringing yourself joy. So these are some strategies just by visualizing all of your goals to come true. Retirement. So let's talk about retirement. The importance of retirement planning, understanding a significance of planning for retirement to ensure your financial security in your golden years. You want to start planning early to take advantage of the compounding interest, and you want to minimize your savings. So remember that compound interest is real important when you're young. So is so important to stress, like when you have young adults, people in their 20s and their 30s, please start thinking about retirement. You want to have that exit strategy, I always say. You want to determine your retirement goals. You want to calculate how much you would need to save. So there's so many calculators out there. You just got to Google them. Retirement based on your desired lifestyle and expected expenses. You want to consider factors like healthcare costs, inflation, and potential income resources. There's so many guys. I didn't want to direct you guys to one, but I want you guys to do your research. Do more than one. And then there's calculators out there that talks about retirement and your lifestyle you want to live. And then depending on your age and how long you've been working, you want to find out about Social Security. What that looks like according to your current income now. So those are the things you really want to look at. Exploring retirement investment options. Remember, when you're young, this is really good to do. But research different retirement investment options like 401ks, IRAs, and annuities. Consult with your financial advisor to determine the best investment strategy for your retirement goals. Remember, your retirement goals are not like my retirement goals. So you need to uh, get advice from a financial advisor. Remember, make sure that they are licensed. You want to consider retirement income sources. Evaluate potential uh, income sources such as Social Security, pensions, and investment returns. You want to develop a plan to ensure a steady income stream during retirement. Regularly review and adjust your financial plan. So if you're making more money, you probably want to increase your saving towards retirement. So making more money does not mean you spend more money. So you want to monitor your progress. You want to review your financial goals and make sure you're on track and and track your progression regularly. You want to make sure you are on track for retirement because remember, you may have to make adjustments. You want to update your budget, savings contribution, and investment strategies as needed. Remember, you want to seek professional advice, consult with a financial advisor to ensure your plans aligns with your goal and your risk tolerance. Now, let's talk a little bit about scams, fraud. Now, increase awareness of identity theft and loan scams. Like I shared with you uh, the other day, uh, my husband noticed things into his account from Google. He's like, I don't have an account. It started off with $1.99. Then the next day it was 49. Then it was 89. So what I'm saying is you have to be aware of your bank accounts. Regularly look at it. Also regularly look at your credit report. The law allows us to look at our credit report, and you can get it free from uh, annualcreditreport.com. But let's talk about increasing awareness about identity theft and loan scams. It's crucial for protecting your financial well-being because once you are scammed, more likely your information is sent on to someone else. It involves understanding common tactics used by scammers, safeguarding personal information, staying vigilant against fraudulent activities by practicing and safeguarding online behavior, regularly monitoring financial accounts, and educating yourself on the latest scams. You can reduce the risk of falling victim of identity theft and loan scams. Increasing awareness empowers you to make informed decisions and protect your financial future. What does it cost for a financial advisor, and how do you know if that advisor is good? First, you go on someone's reputation, like you find out if someone else is. You look them up. You go to your local banks. You find friends or family members who have used someone. So I'm a HUD counsel, so I can't just say, "Hey, go to this investment person." I would at least give you three resources, and normally I'm going to direct you to someone that I don't know, because we cannot steer anybody. But the best way to find out about a financial advisor would be to do your research. But going back to increase awareness to avoid identity theft scams would be that listen to the news, see what's the latest scams, and it is sad. And I forgot what movie I was watching, but there was a whole movie, and I think there's another movie based on. Well, no, there was a movie based on where I think it was Felicia Rashad. No, I think somebody killed her. But anyway, the whole issue was that someone had gotten into her accounts, and people make a living off of ripping people off. So you gotta be careful to safeguard. Don't trust everything, everybody. If you feel as though somebody have called you, call them and call the original person. Even with Google, on the bank statement, my husband called, and then it was a number, and it was a person you could never talk to. So what you have to do is just go through your bank. So you just have to be careful on where you use your card. Matter of fact, my daughter just got a new card where she banks at. Just came to the house yesterday. She said, "Mine's my card there." And although she has her own house, but the card was sent to our house. So there's so many things, and I'm just thinking on a daily basis. It just happened last week to my family. So you really have to increase your awareness about how and when you use your debit card, because that is connected to other accounts as well. Uh, Takeaways: understand common tactics. There are so many scams out. I just can't believe. I mean, I can't. They're always coming up with something new, but basically, you want to safeguard your personal information. If somebody is calling you, uh, be careful. But when you call somebody, make sure the number you're calling is with that official agency. There's so many scams on Facebook. There's so many scams everywhere, just in your email. They're called phishing. So, and they're trying to see, if they would catch anybody off guard. Be vigilant. Practice online safe behaviors and regularly monitor your financial account. So remember, believe me, if you don't think they can get to it, believe me, they can. What to do if you've been scammed? If you've been scammed, you should take action immediately and report it to the relevant authorities. Contact your bank and financial institution. If you paid the scammer with your credit card or debit card, contact your bank and or card provider to report the scam and ask them to stop any transaction. If you paid with a gift card, report it to the company that issued the card. Notify law enforcement. A lot of times we don't like to do that, but it would be great if you had something on record. You can report a scam to your local police department or sheriff's office, especially if you lost money or property, or if you had your identity compromised. If you pay someone overseas, you can report the incident to the FBI. As well as file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission. You can file a complaint online to report fraud, ftc.gov. The FTC can investigate individual cases, but your report can help track down fraud, fraudulence. You can also call the FTC at 1-800 FTC HELP. Let's review budget for your future goals. Budgeting is crucial for your managing your finances and achieving your future goals. It helps you track your income, expenses, savings, providing a clear picture of your financial situation. Remember, by creating a comprehensive budget, you can allocate your resources effectively, identify areas for improvement, and make informed decisions about your financial future. Don't forget, mastering budget allows you to prioritize your goals, minimize debt, and build a solid foundation for financial success. Tips for achieving financial goals: set clear and achievable financial goals. Create a comprehensive budget and stick to it. Automate savings contributions. Regularly review and adjust your financial plan. Seek financial guidance when needed and practice patience. Pre- pa- I'm sorry, practice patience and preference in pursuing your goals. Do you need help? Do you? If so, in conclusion, planning for the future is crucial and achieving financial stability and reaching your goals by budgeting, setting financial goals, and implementing the strategies for saving and investing. You can create a solid financial plan, whether it's purchasing a car, buying a house, traveling, or planning for retirement. Carefully planning and regularly reviewing your financial plan will help you stay on track and achieve your dreams. You need a counselor, you may want to contact Chicago-Ervin League. We have Pamela Gilbert, she's our pre-purchase budget counselor. Evalie Sereno, she is our pre-purchase budget counselor. She also speaks Spanish. Deirdre Beaver, if you're interested in rental counseling, well, we don't find you a place, but we do refer out, but we look at your budget. And Cynthia Jordan Hubbard, she focuses on foreclosure, but she's a budget counselor as well. So, do we have any questions?
Thank you so much, Pam, for that. We appreciate that. It was so good.
Oh, was it?
It was. And I know that we have a few questions. You answered a few of them while you were talking, and we appreciate that. But just want to make sure that we get the questions that are still in the chat. I think we have Sean who says he's ready for a car now. So we'll take that as a testimony. Sean, congratulations in advance on you getting your car. Deborah Laws wants to know about getting a copy of the slides. I guess she wants to make sure she can keep these notes for later, but I know CUL offers classes and a lot of different things for her to come to. So if you want to speak to that quickly, Pam.
Definitely. On a monthly basis, we do have our credit budget savings workshop, and it is like an hour and a half each month. And then we also have our home buying workshop, which is an 8-hour class. You do get a certificate, and it's good because sometimes um, lenders or different programs need that certificate in order to apply for down payment assistance. So even if you want to personalize your financial goals or just try to figure out where you're ready. You don't have to be ready to purchase a home, but just give us a call. We do have counselors that can assist you. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you for uh, a copy of your credit report, your bank statements. We're going to ask you for also a budget. We're going to have you figure out what your budget is, and then look at your check stub and then see exactly where you stand. And then from that information, we're going to take all of that and say, hey, well, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? And guess what? It is free 99.
That's the good news. It is free. And I think I see the other questions, but I'm going to piggyback because Sean wants to know how often the classes are. So, Deborah, we can't share the slides necessarily, but you have the opportunity to come in and get some one-on-one counseling and coaching. And Sean wants to know how often are those classes?
So they're once a month, the 8-hour class. Because now we just finished last week. So it's normally either the first week or second week where we do the uh, budget savings and credit course. That's where we have a partner lender come in and talk about
Mm-hmm.
the credit aspect. Then we have someone uh, um, uh, insurance industry come and talk about how important it is to have renter's insurance. And then whenever we do the home buying classes, we have insurance person talk about life insurance one session, and then another session we talk about the importance of homeowners insurance. So there's a variety of things that we have in our classes, and we have many more guest speakers too. Because I know you don't want to hear me all out because I don't want to hear myself out.
Yeah, CUL is full of resources. And Isaiah says he might have missed it, but did you say how much you might need or that you believe you might need to start an emergency fund?
So what we always talk about when you're starting at savings, whether it's emergency or not, have to factor in, and that's a great question because I can answer it different ways. So that's how come it's sometimes better to find out your individual situation. But the general rule is 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses. So that means if it takes me $1,000 to live a month, then I need to have 6,000 to 12,000 bank just in my emergency savings. So that means if I lose a job, I'm able to pay my rent, pay my car, pay my student loans, pay my credit card bills, everything. And that's just an example up to what you're going to do. So, and each savings account, you want to have a goal in it. So, for instance, every 2 years, I have a certain amount that I know I want to spend on vacation. Now, if I go under this, it's good. I just don't know, you know, uh, don't want to save enough for. So whenever I go to Paris or Greece, I want to make sure I have enough money.
Yeah, to have a plan. And our final question I see is MM. What does it cost to consult a financial advisor? And how do we know if the advisor is a good one? So what do we pay and how do we measure to kind of avoid anything that may be predatory?
Well, first of all, you go uh, people who you know. Uh, I always say start off at the bank because that's the thing you don't know of that. So you start off at the bank, whoever you bank with, they should give you some type of service. And then what you do is then you go on word of mouth. So you still have to do your research. And like I said, I don't advise you go to that person, but there are different websites. So what you do is in your research, you're gonna compare what the cost is and what they're able to do. But I'm always gonna tell you start off at your bank or your credit union and then you reach out from there. And then you just kind of ask that, who's your financial advisor and how much that they charge. Because it's different expenses charges depending on what they do.
Okay, is there a minimum income that you need in order to see a financial advisor or whatever you got? Go.
Well, I would say no, because it just depends on what they're trying to do. So you may want to start off just with a housing counselor, kind of help you get your goals together to see exactly what you want to do, and then that will help you execute your goals because you have to find out what exactly I have and how much am I willing to invest, and then how long it's going to take me to do that. So a housing counselor could help you determine that, but they're not going to tell you investment strategies or anything
Understood.
because we're not licensed to do that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pam. As we conclude, we absolutely want to hear from you and let us know what you think by looking in the chat box and completing the evaluation. There will be a link asking you to complete a survey for Money Matters Institute. And don't forget that you can join us on Thursday, June 20th at 6 p.m. for our in-person workshop at the Chicago-Ervin League, located at 4510 South Michigan Avenue. Chicago-Ervin League will be on site and in person to continue the Planning the Future conversation. So spread the word and bring a friend or a family member to this workshop. Thank you again to our partner, Pam Stallings, Vice President of the CUL Housing and Financial Empowerment Center. Please complete the survey to help us better serve you, and be sure to follow us online and in person at the MMI webinars and in-person workshops. Again, join us for our next upcoming MMI in-person Thursday, June 20th, and we will continue the conversation about planning for our future. Thank you so much for joining us today, Pam. That you enjoy this weather.
I'm trying.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again, and we look forward to seeing you and your team on the 20th.
All right.
All right. Have a good week, guys. Thanks.